Amaliba. Thank you. Abraham Amaliba. See, the lawyer David Amete, first name has stuck in my head. Forgive me, lawyer. Forgive me.
No problem.
Your colleague's name has stuck in my head. Lawyer Abraham.
It's actually my classmate, so no problem.
Oh, then that's great.
Yeah.
Good morning to you, and I hope you're well.
Fine, I'm doing well.
Okay, so first, let's start with what it is being put out that you are seeking a sort of review of the case management agreement that was reached, or the case management order that was passed by the courts at the last hearing. Please explain to us what is going to happen or what you're seeking.
Well, that's so true. What you are seeing on social media is true. That yesterday we filed an application for review and variation of the judge's order. It's expected that this morning that application will be before the judge, and that will be the first thing to deal with before, if the trial is to continue, will continue. This is not to stop the trial. This is just to ask the court to vary the dates. Don't forget, the last time they went to court, it was ordered that they should be in court every day on a daily basis. And I think that our side is of the view that that flies in the face of the Constitution, because Article 90E says that you should provide the accused person adequate time and facility to defend himself. So if you are coming every day, when will the lawyers retire to look at what happened in court and plan for the next day? When will they do that? They can't be doing that while in court every day. They need at least a couple of days to debrief and also to strategize for the next case, but the next day. But if you have to be coming to court every day, when will the lawyers retire to bed? Then when will they have time to review the day's activities? And when will they have time to debrief and all those? So this application is in the proper direction, just to ensure that the accused person has adequate time and facility to defend himself.
Are you also further asking for what you're asking for initially, that they should allow time for everything to start after 27th?
Yes, because actually we still think that the assignment, and that's where I disagree entirely with the Attorney General. Attorney General is tunnel vision. When I say tunnel vision, he's too narrow in thinking of national assignment. He thinks the national assignment is when Akufo-Addo calls you to the Flagstaff House and then hands over a job to you. Then that is the only national assignment. But the Constitution also imposes a duty on citizens. For instance, the Constitution imposes a duty on citizens to be law-abiding and to also ensure that they report crime whenever they see crime. So if you are engaged in that, well, the Attorney General said that that's not a national duty. So in a democratic setting such as ours, clearly, campaigning and putting yourself to be elected is a national duty under a constitutional development, a constitutional experiment such as ours. And so for the Attorney General to rise on his feet to say that nobody has given you a national assignment, it only tells you how narrow our Attorney General thinks. He doesn't think that the Constitution can impose duties on citizens. So clearly, yes, if it's part of what we shall request of the court.
That will be determined this morning before the case goes ahead. In the meantime, there's also the point of what all this will mean to the person who is standing trial. Ultimately, is what is happening in a Asinoff. And I know you'll be trying to, as much as possible, disentangle him from the difficulties that a daily hearing will create. But he seems not perturbed at all. He says even if he has to sleep in the court, he doesn't mind.
Anybody who is a bystander and watching closely would come to one irresistible conclusion that the way the Attorney General is handling his matter, I mean James Gyakye Quayson's matter, the way he's handling it, it amounts to persecution. And I didn't say prosecution. Persecution. We all know how Jesus was persecuted. Because the same Attorney General has not asked them one to be attending court every day, even though the conduct. So let's look at the two conducts. One they claim has breached the Constitution, but nobody died. Nobody has lost his job. Nobody's child has been taken away from school because the parents cannot pay school fees. But you have number one's conduct, which has caused all this. So the question to ask is, who should have been appearing in court daily? And who is handling that case? The same Attorney General. So why is it that in that case, the complainants who are crying for justice since 2016, or is it 20, I've even forgotten when this case started. All that time, they have not been given justice. So why is the Attorney General not speeding up that process and rather speeding up this process? So the argument from people saying that this is expeditious trial is not true. This is expeditious persecution. And to persecute somebody in this way, he has no option but to show toughness and to let his people know that he's there for them.
But would it not also be, and I know that goes back to the argument you just refuted, would it not be in his interest, considering what he wants to do, for there to be a trial that is speedily concluded?
And he has not kicked against that. He only says that, can you, in fact, his lawyers, and that's what is surprising to me, his lawyers said that, look, we are not opposed to this daily hearing, even though I had difficulty with that, and I told the lawyer that I would have opposed even a daily hearing. What the lawyer said was that they are not opposed to daily hearing. What they are opposed to is for the daily hearing to take place before 27th, when we are just close to 27th, and that he needs to be in the constituency. The daily hearings, the lawyer said, can happen after 27th. How is that difficult? We have some 7 days. Cases have been adjourned to over a month in this country. Cases have been adjourned to over a month in this country. Somebody is asking for a 1-week adjournment, and that is not allowed by an Attorney General.
Clearly, you are not happy with the conduct of the Attorney General.
Not at all, because he's not acting as a Minister of Justice. Don't forget, the office is called Attorney General and Minister of Justice. The Minister of Justice part says that you must be fair and just to the accused person. You mustn't behave to them as if you are out there to get them at all costs, even if there's nothing. An Attorney General doesn't behave that way. And this particular Attorney General is more political than an independent Attorney General who should have been an Attorney General for the entire country. When you heard his comments on that day, he even sought to insult or attack the accused person by saying that it is irresponsible on his part to want to contest. How is that? And that if he were his lawyer, he would have advised him not to contest. Can you imagine? So if an Attorney General is so political, so vindictive, then how can I be happy with him? There's no way I can be happy with such a person. This is the first Attorney General we are seeing conducting the office in this way, using the office to persecute people in this way.
Always a pleasure talking to you. I wish you the best.
Thank you for having me.
Lawyer David, I keep saying Lawyer David. Lawyer Abraham Amaliba is my very good friend, though. Lawyer Abraham Amaliba is Director of Legal Affairs of the National Democratic Congress. And when cases of this sort goes to court, he actually has to watch it carefully. So I'm sure you'll be in court this morning, explaining to us what they are seeking from the court before whatever the court decides and how the trial will proceed.